All right. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for our final workshop as a part of our Black Business Bootcamp, a tech pivot series that is sponsored by Comcast, NBC Universal. This is done through a partnership between the Emancipation Economic Development Council, which is an organization I represent, along with the Emancipation Park Conservancy, which you will hear from for just a couple of seconds before we jump into the workshop, and Grow with Google, which is facilitated by our beautiful, amazing, super fantastic, overly dope, and well-versed in all things business tech and getting invoices sent and paid, our Houston digital coach, Joy M. Hutton. My name is J. Albert Nichols. I am the business programs coordinator. Forgive me, this is my third workshop today. I'm the business program coordinator for the Emancipation Economic Development Council. We are a nonprofit organization housed within the historic Third Ward, and we serve to protect, revitalize the historic Third Ward from a cultural perspective in both doing residential engagement, business and economic development as well. This component of us is from our business development and economic advancement arm. And our goal with this is to ensure that our businesses have what they need to thrive. And what better way to do that than with the Tech Pivot series that we'll be sharing with you here. Most of you all have websites. If you don't, you definitely need to have one. And if your website is not websiting, or if it's not selling, or if it's not doing what it's supposed to be doing, you'll be getting some information on how to make it do that with Joy M. Hutton, who is, again, our digital coach for Houston, the Google digital coach for Houston. And as we know, Google owns everything. So if you want people to see you, you better make sure you're paying attention. Joy shakes her head. She's going to give us all of the good info. So I know y'all didn't come here to hear me talk, so I'm going to shut up now and pass it to Dr. Muhammad Abdul Rashid, who is with the Emancipation Park Conservancy, who will share a couple words with you before we jump into the workshop. And if you know anybody who's supposed to be here, somebody whose website ain't website, don't be petty and send them a link and tell them to show up today, right? All right, thanks. It's all on you, Doc.
And I'm going to make this really simple. I am Dr. Muhammad Rashid, Program Manager and also Special Partnership Liaison for Emancipation Park. I am happy to be here with Jonathan and Joy, representing our partners at EEDC and with Google. This is a wonderful opportunity. We have been very grateful to have both of you as partners and as resources to share this information to our constituents and our community members. With that, I am going to turn it over to Joy, the lovely, the talented, the brilliant, the beautiful. Do your thing.
Thank you all so much. And this is bittersweet because it's the last workshop of the month. So I'm like happy, but I'm sad because this has been a good group every single week. So thank you all again for having me this month for the Black Business Bootcamp. I appreciate you, Dr. Muhammad. I appreciate you, John. So thank you again. So if you are in the right place, this is make your website work for you, because if you don't have a website, I'm going to tell you the things to do so you can get that website up and running. So again, if you are joining me for the first time today, I am your Grow with Google digital coach. And actually my territory has expanded outside of Houston. So I am a Texas digital coach. You're so silly, John. But so yeah, that is something new. So actually, Texas is the only state that has 2 digital coaches. So there's one in Austin, and then I'm based in Houston. But what that means is, so I'm covering Texas East because Texas is just too big for me to cover the whole state. So I now cover Dallas, Houston, and anything that's around East Texas. So yeah, so I'm excited about that, expanding the territory and new relationships outside of Houston. But I know a lot of people have been attending the workshops that aren't even in Texas. So welcome to you all too. That's the beauty of doing this virtually. So yeah, we're going to get into it. Again, I'm Joy M. Hutton. I'm the founder of Joy of Consulting, a management consulting firm. I like to say we manage the chaos of people and processes, as well as On the Go Glam, an on-demand platform that delivers beauty services to you in the comfort of your home, hotel, or office. So again, if you're in the right place, this is make your website work for you. If you want to take screenshots, feel free to do so. If you want to post this on Instagram or any social media, make sure you use the hashtags Grow with Google and Digital Coaches and at Joy_M_H. I would love to repost you so everyone can know that you learned so much in this workshop today. All right, so get prepared to take notes because this is a lot of information in these workshops. And I know sometimes it seems overwhelming, but the information really does help. So a strong web presence has long helped small businesses reach customers, but consumer behavior is changing very fast. Since the start of 2020, 75% of US consumers have tried a new shopping behavior. One, because we were stuck in the house. So maybe they're trying new ways to buy from businesses they know and trust, like using their mobile apps, or maybe they switched and now buy products from different businesses. Maybe these businesses have better mobile apps or websites. So changes in consumer behavior can be frustrating for marketers, but they're also opportunities. Today's consumers are motivated by ease, convenience, and trust. And the opportunities can arise in moments during a consumer's purchasing journey. So you can grab their attention with a strong web presence and one that's easy to navigate, convenient, trustworthy. And then customers also look for websites in moments of need. Because of course, you're looking to buy something, we think we need it. Sometimes it's a want though. But if you have what they need or what they want and a strong website that provides a seamless experience, then you're more likely to win their business. So one of the things that I like to do at the beginning of the workshops is drop those websites, drop those handles, because you never know how you can get connected to someone. I've had so many people say that they've met people in these workshops and are doing business together. So drop those, let me know who's in the room. And guys, if you have questions throughout the workshop, feel free to drop those. I'll be looking over periodically to see what questions you all have. So let's see, I see we have Tiffany here. I see Chelsea's here. I see Zuchen is here. Higher Goals Learning, Tanya, Leandra, AJ, Michaela, Elaine, Denise. Okay, that's my mama. My daddy's in here too. So yeah, drop those websites, your business. I love to see who's in here because also what I like to do during these workshops is use real world examples based on you all's businesses. So there you go. Okay, we got a website. Party Loud Events. Okay, that sounds fun. I like it. Kathy Screams. Yes. Okay. Hey, Kathy. All right. So yes, keep dropping those websites. Okay. So we're going to start reviewing web design. Super, super important. So when people hear web design, they often think of the graphic design, the website's look and feel. But the look and feel is just one component of web design. Within the graphic template, there are lots of common elements that appear on most websites, and those include the header or the top section of the site. And the header usually includes the company's logo, maybe in the left corner. Most website visitors expect that the logo will also link them back to the home page. And then you have the footer or the bottom section of the website. And the footer usually includes important links, contact information, and copyright information. And then 3 is the navigation. So usually horizontally across the top of the site or vertically on the left side of the site is the navigation, or sometimes people refer to that as the menu. So effective websites follow guidelines to keep web pages consistent, whether it's their colors, their font sizes, font styles, types of content, and some sites are designed and built from scratch. So you have a lot of sites that use content management systems or CMS. And most CMS options include web-based tools that allow you to easily build, customize, and update your website. And there are some amazing templates out there that allow you to just not have a headache when you're trying to build a website. So there are a lot of different options like Shopify, Wix, WordPress, Squarespace. So if you're just getting started, we recommend that you try a few and then find the CMS, which is that customization tool that works for you, that you're most comfortable with. So you want something user-friendly. Aw, thanks, mommy. Okay, but whether you are building a website from scratch or using a content management system, all the principles from today's workshop will apply. Hey, Autumn, welcome. Love the hair. So in today's presentation, we'll look at 5 characteristics of a great website. So a website is not all about the eye-catching design. You want to make sure, is it goal-oriented? How will your site grow your business? Is it search-friendly? Can search engines find your site? Does it offer an easy and convenient experience for customers? So is it easy to use your site on all devices? Can they find what they're looking for? Have the pages and the content, are they organized and intuitive to navigate? Is it simple, user-friendly? And does it work to gain a customer's trust? So does your website protect your customers? And there's language you can use for that. So you want to make sure that you have that in there as well. Okay, so we're going to start by talking about why your website should be goal-oriented, because we should always have a goal in mind. So it's not enough just to have a site because everyone else has one or because you've been told you need one. A great website has specific goals, and both short and long-term goals. So if you factor in these goals as you create and refine your site, it can also help your business now and in the future as your business grows. Okay, so you want to start by asking yourself, why do I want a website? Maybe it looks cool when you put it on Instagram, you put it on Facebook, but what are you really trying to do? What are your goals? Again, your site can have all kinds of goals. Do you want to make sales? That could be an obvious choice, but think about the other ways that you want your site to help your business. It could build your brand by establishing a look and feel that resonates with the customers you're trying to reach. It could generate leads by hooking a potential customer's attention and prompting them to contact you. It could re-engage existing customers, reminding them why they bought from you in the first place, maybe offering related products or letting them know that you've expanded your products and services. And then a site may help you attract new employees because somebody may say, you know what, this looks like somebody I might want to work for. Or your site might be a tool to assist with customer support, maybe answering any frequently asked questions. So think about that, okay, what those goals are. So put your shoes, well, you can put your shoes on too, but put yourself in the shoes of your audience. Who is your website for? How do they act? How do they think? How do they live? You know, I've talked about this in all 3 of these workshops where you may think it looks good and you may think that you have a great idea and you may talk to yourself about how great you are. But what does everybody else think? Are you giving them what they need? So you want to make sure that it's relatively easy to define an audience with demographic data like gender, age, employment status. But then don't stop there. You want to ask yourself, what makes your audience unique? Your goal is to develop a more complete picture of your audience, that customer persona. We've talked about that in the other 2 workshops. So think about specific age ranges rather than one wide range, because you know, you hear a lot of people say, I serve everybody. I can provide services to everybody. No, that's a huge mistake. Do not tell people that. You want to have a very specific group or niche that you serve, okay? So consider their location. Where are they located? Are they in the city, the suburbs, a rural area? What about their education level? Are they employed? Do they have hobbies and interests? Do they have values that align with who you are as a company, as a brand? And then consider their view of your product or service. Is it a necessity? Is it a nice to have? or is it a luxury? Okay, so think about that, because a lot of the times, we think everybody needs what we are giving, but it may fall into one of those categories. So an understanding of your audience can influence everything on your site, from the graphic design to the words on the pages. And it might be tempting to consider a broad audience. For example, everyone likes ice cream, right? Not really, because you got people out there that's lactose intolerant. So, but it's more useful to narrow in on the audience that you really, really want. So even though everyone may like ice cream, a gourmet ice cream shop may specifically want to reach trendy foodies who are willing to spend more for locally sourced products of high quality. That's a very specific group of people. So if that's the type of ice cream that you sell, then you want your website to communicate that to the foodies who you are most likely to serve, okay? All right. So you have thought about your target audience, hopefully. Now you need to start thinking about them in relation to your website and the goals of your business. So everything you do on your website should support your goals. And we talked about this in the last session, but SMART goals. So you want to have those SMART goals. So the S is the goal specific and detailed? M, how will you measure it? A, is this goal realistically attainable? R, is the goal relevant to your business? Will this help you reach your business goals? And T, is it time bound? Does it set a time frame for achieving this goal? Okay. All right. So now that you're thinking about your goals and your audience, we're going to add another consideration to the mix, and that's tracking and measuring your success. So if you don't track and measure your website's performance, then you don't have any way to make improvements based on the data that you're not receiving. So here's another way to think about it. Let's say that you made some modifications to your bicycle to make it go faster. If you don't know your max speed before you make the modifications, then how will you know if it worked? So you need to do the same, track and measure online success so you know what kind of improvements that you need to make. So there are a lot of ways that you can do that, and some are more accurate than others. So you can, one, start simply asking your customers how they found you. You can ask when they call you on the phone, when they visit your store, or if they send you an email. And then you can also get a little more precise. You can set up a trackable phone number. So if you advertise with Google, you can use free call tracking, so which records every time ad results in a phone call. So if someone clicked on that number in an ad, Google tracks that. And then you can track the number of emails and form submissions from your site if you have one of those management systems like MailChimp or Constant Contact. There's so many of them out there. Google has a tracking system as well. So, and then you have, if you have an e-commerce site, which some of you look like you have, you can track your sales. So obviously, if your sales are high, then you know you're doing something right. And then you can also use web analytics software. So we talked about Google Analytics last week, to understand visitor behavior on your site. Okay. All right. So to help track and measure your goals, you can use a tool, again, called Google Analytics, and this is free. It can help you better understand your audience and their activity on your website. So this information will help you to make more strategic business decisions, which we all need to do that. So if you're feeling lost when it comes to goal setting, it can also help to put yourself in the shoes of your customer and try to understand what they would be looking for when they're on your website. And you want to take the guessing out of it, okay? And Google Analytics helps you answer a lot of the questions that you may have. So you can use these reports within Google Analytics to better understand your audience and what they're doing when they get to your website. So a few of the audience insights that you can get, and some of you may remember this from last week, but what are the highest sources of traffic? What content on your website attracts the most visitors? What keeps them on the site longer? What are some key demographics of your site visitors? And then which channels drive the most conversions? Is it organic search, paid ads, social posts, maybe your newsletter? So to set up Google Analytics, again, it's free. You visit g.co/analytics. And then you're going to start by either creating a new account or signing into an existing analytics account. And you can follow along if you want. And when they say set up a property, that's your website, or if you have an app, you can track your analytics for that as well. So you're going to follow the instructions to add the tracking code to your site. And then if you use a content management system, then there may be a place to enter your Google Analytics measurement ID there. So it walks you through that. It's a very user-friendly and seamless process, because I know when people hear analytics, they hear data, they freak out, but it really is easy to set up, okay, for non-techie people. Okay, so there are multiple versions of Google Analytics. They did update. You have the GA4, which launched in 2020. So if you're on the old version, you might remember Universal Analytics, but now you can set up Google Analytics 4, which again, like I said last week, I don't know why they use the number 4, but this is the recommended version, especially for marketers, okay? It has different reports. They look similar, but they're more upgraded now. Okay, so you won't lose your old data if you upgrade to the GA4, so keep that in mind, but you will be able to access both sets of reports. So again, if you want to sign up and follow along as we're going through this, and then if you have questions about transitioning your account over to the new property, then you can visit support.google.com/analytics, okay? So no matter what version of Google Analytics that you use, the reports can help you make better business decisions, and then you can find both of those, all the answers you need in both versions of the software. Okay. So again, if you set up Google Analytics before October 2020, you probably see reports like the example in the screenshot. So some of the reports that you find in the old analytics include real time. So that's useful to monitor activity as it happens on your site. You have an audience report for insight into characteristics of your users. You have acquisition that discovers how users arrive at your site. Behavior, that's to discover how users interact with your site. And then you have conversion, and this is your website or app successful? But we're going to take a look at the reports available in the new version. And those guys who were here last week, I know we covered this, but we're going to cover some other stuff as relates to websites too when we get past the Google Analytics. Okay, so in Google Analytics 4, the reports are organized as a report snapshot, a real-time report, which is what's happening now, and then report collections and topics, okay? So a collection is a set of reports. So you have life cycle and user, and these are predefined collections that appear in the report navigation by default. So the topics refers to the individual reports within a collection. So for example, acquisition is a topic or a report within the life cycle collection. I know this is a lot to remember, guys, but when you start playing around in the Google Analytics platform, then all of this stuff will make sense. You'll be like, oh, I remember what Joy was saying. Okay, now it's all making sense. Okay, so then you can refine the 4 report types under the life cycle collection. So again, I told you guys about acquisition, and then you have engagement. So this is user engagement by events, pages, and screens. And then you have monetization, which is revenue you might earn. And then you have retention. So retention is by new and returning users, cohorts, and that's a group of people banded together or treated as a group. And then you have lifetime value reports as well. So the user collection contains the following topics. So you have demographics to learn about your users, and then you have tech, and this is to learn about the technologies that they use to access your site. So if someone was on a computer, a tablet, or a mobile phone, then you will see all of that data. Okay, so before we move on, I'm going to introduce you to another free tool, because we like free 99, that can help your site be more goal-oriented. So that's Google Optimize. And you really want to run this on your website, because it will tell you if your website is trash, basically. So Optimize is a tool that works with Google Analytics so that you can not only pinpoint areas for improvement, but easily test what kinds of changes work best. Okay, did we have a question? Let me see. Oh my gosh, you all don't see the screen? What? Oh gosh. What's happening? Oh my goodness. I'm so glad somebody said something. Hold on. I've been presenting this whole time. We've been through 17 slides. Okay, can you all see it now? Okay, hold on. All right, you guys see it now? Yes, okay.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm so sorry about that. You guys are just so patient too. You just following along and listening. Nobody said anything. Okay, now we have the slides up. Oh my goodness, that is so crazy. I just saw the chat. Oh,
No worries. I was
I
on my
thought
phone, so I was
everyone
like,
else
maybe
could
it's just my phone.
right. That's so funny. Okay, well, we're on track now. Okay. That is so funny. As Zuchin said, I just thought everybody else could see it. It was me. Okay, that's so funny. Okay, we are on track now. That is so funny. I love y'all. Y'all so patient. I love it. Okay, just sitting here watching me talk. Okay, so here's the Google Optimize. So this is g.co/optimize. And I'm just gonna go back a few slides so you guys can see the reports page I was talking about. Okay, so this is what the Google Analytics platform looks like. Okay, I'm just gonna go back a couple of slides with the reports so you guys can see that. This is too funny. Okay. All right. And so that just tells you, I mentioned that, the Google Analytics. So, okay. Fortunately, you guys didn't miss too much. Okay, so Google Optimize. Okay, so this is a tool that works with Google Analytics so that you can not only pinpoint areas for improvement, but easily test what kinds of changes work best. So for example, let's say that Trade Street Jam Company noticed a low number of page views for their hot sauce. So this could be explained if people think of them as strictly a jam company. Nobody knows that they had hot sauce. So to help, they might have a goal to increase page views and then sales of hot sauce. They have a few ideas. So prominently featuring hot sauce on the homepage, or adding a before you go, shop our hot sauces link on the checkout page. So they might have multiple designs or calls to action and offers that they try, but how can they learn what works best? So that's where Optimize can help. So the tool lets you run tests to see which content variations work best. And the tool includes A and B, multivariate, and redirect tests, and they integrate seamlessly with Google Analytics. So again, you can go to g.co/optimize so that you can see that. All right. Okay. Oops. Okay. So now that we've covered the goals, we're going to switch gears and talk more about making your website search friendly. So the process of helping a website increase its visibility on search engines is called search engine optimization, or SEO. And I know you guys have heard SEO and you're like sick of probably hearing about it and how to do it and not wanting to pay people thousands of dollars to do it. So, we could do it a whole presentation on SEO, but this section will give you a few tips to get your site off to a great start, and it's for free. Okay, so it's clearly important that your business can be found online when people search, but it's also useful to understand how people search and what they search for. So for example, from 2020 to 2021, Google search data shows a 100% increase for searches that include the words "now near me." Okay, so you want to search for something that's close to you, because we weren't driving very far, going very far during lockdown, especially. So this indicates that people want what they're searching for immediately, like right now. So if you have the products and services they are looking for and they can get to you quickly, and your website confirms it, and you have a great opportunity to make a sale. All right. So to help you understand how to make your site more search friendly, let's look at the Google search results page. So it's probably familiar to you, but we'll break it down into sections. So at the top, you see a word, a phrase, or question that the searcher typed in, and that's called the search query. And then below the search query, you see the search results. And underneath the ad is the start of the natural or organic search results. So creating a search-friendly site helps increase your chances of appearing in this area. So the organic results include sites that Google's algorithm has identified as relevant and useful matches for the search query. So when we talk about making your site search-friendly, we mean improving the chances of it appearing and appearing higher in these organic search results. And then the clicks on the links in the search organic results are actually free. So websites cannot pay Google to appear here, and advertising does not influence a website's organic presence or position. So there's one more section to review, and that's on the right side of the page, which is a Google business profile. And these are available to local businesses with storefronts or service areas. So if you do not have a brick and mortar, if you have a consulting business, for example, you can still get a Google business profile, and you definitely want to do this. So if you don't have one, it's free to set that up. This is a free advertising tool. I always tell people, do this before you start running ads, because if you don't have an ads budget, this is an easy way to advertise. Okay. So you can hire a company or a consultant to improve your website's SEO, but there are plenty of things that you can do yourself for free to improve your site's visibility in the organic search results. So first, you want to make your site fast. A website's load time is super important. If your load time is very slow, that's going to affect you appearing in search results, especially on mobile devices. So a study commissioned by Google and conducted by 55 and Deloitte found that faster site speed improved conversion rates and reduced bounce rates. Because think about yourself as a customer. If you're on somebody's site and it's taking you too long to get to the shopping cart or check out, it's just buffering and buffering, then you're going to abandon your cart. You're going to abandon that website. So websites that load faster encourage customers to stay longer and purchase more. And then next, improve your SEO by publishing original content that's useful, clear, and accurate. And make sure you include keywords that consumers would search for to find your site. So this could be a blog, it could be even video. If your description has keywords in there, this helps as well. But make sure those keywords are all throughout your site, okay? Because your web pages actually, or Google searches each web page that you have, and it needs to include these words. And then SEO friendly sites also include links either to other relevant places within your site or to other websites that publish high quality information. And then lastly, use text to anchor your links whenever possible. So that means including relevant keywords as a part of the link as well, okay? So descriptive pages or page titles and accurate page descriptions can also make your sites more search friendly. So they should be unique to each page. Many content management systems allow you to add them. And then next, organization. How is your website organized? So the way that your site is organized is known as information architecture. So logical information architecture helps visitors find the information that they're looking for, and it's good for SEO. And why? Because thoughtful organization helps Google more easily understand what your website is about. And that's including what information is most important. And then finally, remember to design your site in a way that works for all browsers and devices. And then about half of your visitors will be viewing your site from smartphones or tablets. So another free tool from Google that can help you monitor, maintain, and troubleshoot your site's presence in Google search results is the Google Search Console. And again, I said that's another free tool that you can use. So you guys have a number of tools that you can use to make this website work for you. So the Google Search Console. So this is designed to help you improve your site's performance in Google's search results. So it used to be called Webmaster Tools. So you may remember that if you've had a website for a long time. So you don't have to sign up for Search Console to be included in Google search results, but this tool helps you understand and improve how Google sees your site. So as a small business owner, you may not dive deep into the technical details that Search Console reports have, but it can help you to understand how and why to make improvements. So you can check this tool out at g.co/Search Console. Okay, so take advantage of these tools, guys. I think we'll have a screenshot of all these links at the end as well, and Joy Lynn is dropping them in the chat as well. So the Search Console tools and reports can help you in a number of ways. So you can confirm that Google can find and crawl your site, and crawling just means that they can access it so that they can include you in the search results. And it also includes fixing or indexing problems and allowing you to request re-indexing of new or updated content. And indexing just means that your pages are being included in Google's index so that they can show up in the search results. And then showing Google traffic, showing Google search traffic data for your site. So for example, how often does your site appear in Google search, and which search queries show your site? And then how often are searchers clicking through for those queries? So maybe you're using keywords that aren't yielding good search results. So that helps you to look at what you need to include on your website as well, what keywords you need to explore. And then it also includes allowing you to sign up for alerts if Google encounters issues with your website. And then it helps you troubleshoot those issues for mobile usability. So a lot of different things that you can do to make sure that website is functioning properly, and it's free. So to sign up again for that, you go to g.co/Search Console, and you'll need to just add your website in there to your account and make sure you verify the ownership. And then you can also create a property that includes an entire domain or a property that's limited to a single page. So if you just wanted to do, maybe you want to know how your sales page, your product page is performing. So you can do it for that, like your entire website or a single page. And then once verification is complete, then your account will be ready and it will start collecting data for the reports. Plain and simple, see? And it's free. Okay. All right. So we've talked about goals and organization. The next thing you need to consider is how visitors experience your site, and no matter what device they're on. So you want to create a website that offers ease and convenience for customers. So more than ever, consumers look for convenience when they're shopping. So online shopping continues to grow for mobile, and this trend has become even more pronounced since 2020. So since the pandemic's onset, more than a quarter of online shoppers are using their mobile devices, ranging as high as 44% for groceries, though many have had nearly constant access to their home computers. So this also includes mobile apps. Google searches for online shopping app download globally grew over 300% within the past year. And then in order to make the most of this trend, your website needs to be convenient on all devices, because you want people to use your stuff too. You want to be a part of that number. So your first goal is to make it easier for people to use your website on a small screen. So let's talk about 6 ways that you can make your website easier to use and more convenient for your customers. Make sure you screenshot this, but we're going to go through each one of them. Okay, let me go back. Make sure you guys screenshot that. You got that? Make sure everybody got that. Okay. All right. So your first goal is to, hold on. What's happening? Okay, you got that? Okay, so first goal is to use a responsive design. So this means that your website layout responds to the device being used. So it's a fluid design that adapts to the screen size. So the goal is to make it just as easy to use a website on a phone as it is on a computer. So as you build or rebuild your website, try a mobile first approach instead of testing your site on a desktop computer. Start by testing it on a phone. And a lot of these website builders, as you're building it, it lets you see the desktop view and it lets you see the mobile phone view as well. So, you know, look at both as you're building it to make sure it makes sense. So for example, the navigation or your menu is super important because that's how people find information. So design your site to allow plenty of space for users to tap on the links. If your site includes a call to action, make it tappable, linking visitors directly to the content that they want to access. And a little technical, but worth discussing with your website designer is vector graphics. So these they load quickly and can be sized up and down without losing quality compared to raster graphics, which are like JPEGs or PNGs. So you've probably seen that. So when in doubt, less is more. A clean, minimalist design may make it easier as well for visitors to complete actions on your site. And then finally, design a site for everyone, and everyone, not saying the whole world, but who your target audience is. But also you want to follow accessibility standards so people with disabilities who may use assistive technology can more readily access your web pages as well. Okay, so we're going to take a moment to try brief activity. If you have your phone handy, which I'm sure a lot of you do, search your own website or a site that you use a lot on the computer and type it in and see how quickly it loads. How does it look? Try to navigate around it a little bit. Is it difficult to do that? And if this is your website, start making a list of potential improvements for mobile site visitors. Okay. So if anybody did that and want to share their feedback, you know, maybe someone needs improvements to their site, it's okay. It's okay. All right. So hopefully you guys tested it out. Notice maybe some things, some areas that need to be improved. You know, maybe some pictures need to be resized. Maybe the menu button is off. Maybe something's going across, words are going across an image. So yeah, pay attention to all of that. Okay. All right. Second, make it easy to buy stuff on your website. You want people to make it easy to spend money with you. So, I mean, if you think about how many times you visited a website and tried to buy something, but then you got to the checkout section and you were like, this is too much. A difficult checkout process can have a major impact on a site's conversion rate. So how do you decrease load time? Yes. So sometimes if you have a lot of JPEGs, that might be JPEGs or PNGs can slow down the load time on your site. Videos. So it depends on if you've embedded that video, if it's a native video or you loaded it through or if you have it loaded through a YouTube link. So you can do it through YouTube and the video can pop up on your website versus you actually uploading that video as a native video. So definitely look at the images you have. And if you look at the size of the image, then it may be too big and you may need to reduce the size of it. But like I was saying, the vector images are usually like EPS or AI images. And if you don't have like Adobe or anything, that's fine because there are a lot of free websites that can convert those for you as well. So if you just say, I want to convert a JPEG to an AI or a .EPS format, those you can find a lot of free tools for that. Okay. Autumn said I need to update my services from 2013. Yes, absolutely. And get that Google business profile because you can add your services on there too. So yes, absolutely. Yeah, sometimes we forget about, to update our site. I mean, I'm guilty. My consulting firm, my website is so outdated and I'm telling you all what you need to do with your website, but I need to fix mine too. But see, I'm working on it though. We're working on a new website. So, but one of the things also that people don't think about, if you go to the bottom of a person's website and they have like 2020, all rights, 2020, Joy of Consulting, all rights reserved. Make sure you update that to the current year, because then people can really tell if you have not updated your website. If that says 2016 and you're like, okay, she hasn't updated this site in 6 years, like that's ridiculous. So make sure you update that at the bottom too. Don't be going to Joy of Consulting, okay? Because I know I need to update my website because mine says 2019. So that shows y'all how long it's been since I've updated my website. Okay, but On The Go Glam is up to date. All right, so keep that in mind. Update that footer, okay, so that you all are current. So yes, okay, good. Yes, she said I have the profile. Google is my bestie. Well, good. Let's see, can we list products directly on our Google profile? Absolutely. You can put your products on there. You can put photos, videos, you can put promos on there. You can put, you can link, if you have a booking system, you can link it through there. You can add events on there. So many things. Like the Google Business Profile is amazing. It's one of my favorite tools, actually. And yeah, it's definitely underutilized by a lot of businesses because they're like, oh, well, if I'm not a restaurant, if I'm not, no, like service-based businesses definitely need to be taking advantage of the Google Business Profile as well. Okay, so again, back to that checkout process, you want to make sure that this is seamless as possible. So some things that you can do to make it easier for visitors to complete purchases on your website. First, you want to reduce the number of steps in the checkout process. Less is more. And then second, you want to show a visitor their progress as they move through checkout. This lets them know what they have left to do and when they're almost done. And then offer guest checkout, for visitors who don't want to create accounts to make a purchase. I hate when sites make me do that because I'm like, I may not come back, or if I do come back, then I'll do it later. I just want whatever I'm purchasing right now. So after their transaction is complete, you might offer them the option to create an account for next time. And it's better than after than before because it's just too many steps. And then give people choices, offer multiple payment options and digital wallets such as Google Pay. So now, everybody's got a pay thing, Facebook Pay, Shop Pay, Google Pay. Everybody has a pay option. So, I mean, you can literally check out in one click if you have any of those things set up. So yeah, make it as seamless as possible. Okay. And then I know if you have people abandoning their carts, now you get emails about that. You left something and it's like, right, I did. Thank you for the reminder. So yeah, all types of stuff to get people to come back. All right, so then you also want to make it easy for customers to find and buy other things that they need, even if they don't know that they need it yet. So if implemented well, related product recommendations will encourage customers to add more products to their shopping carts, and even services. Like if someone's booking a consultation with you, but then you might have an add-on, they might say, oh, maybe I want to add this book on because I'm booking a consultation with you, but we may not cover that. So I'm going to add on this additional service, or maybe you have an ebook that I can purchase. So there are lots of things to kind of hook them with some extra, so you can get those extra dollars. Then talk to your web developer about ways to add related product recommendations to your site, because this is also helpful. Recommendations might be based on a customer's online purchase history, the products they viewed, or products that complement the items in their shopping carts. So for example, if someone added a jar of jam to their cart, the website might suggest a special size jam spoon, a nice touch for a gift. Or if you sell a product that requires separate components, so for example, batteries sold separately, this is another opportunity to suggest an additional product. So your goal, again, is to make it convenient for customers to find everything they need on your site with little to no effort. Okay. Then finally, try to find ways to make shopping more convenient, whether that's online and offline. So for example, a restaurant may now offer curbside pickup, and they let people know about it on their website. An e-commerce site might offer multiple options for shipping and delivery, or free shipping with a minimum order. And then service providers might offer virtual options, so allowing customers to continue being customers from the convenience of their own homes. A lot of service-based businesses have done that. Like, I know for me, everything is pretty much virtual. I rarely have to go on site to meet a client now because everything's virtual, especially we had no choice during the lockdown. So now it is just a habit forming thing that people have fallen into. So these are just a few general ideas to consider as you design a website that meets the needs of your customers. And you also want to consider the speed, again, back to that speed factor of your site, how quickly or how slowly your site loads, okay? All right, so your website speed is extremely important. So here's more about that and how you can test it, especially on mobile devices. Google's Test My Site tool does just that. So it tests your site and evaluates the user experience on a mobile device. So Test My Site will tell you exactly how fast your site loads on mobile. It pinpoints trouble spots and gives you personalized recommendations on how else you can make your website more convenient. So I think it was Tiffany that was asking about that. You can go to Test My Site, g.code/test my site. And then you type your website address in there into the blank field, and then you'll immediately learn how many seconds it takes your site to load. So example is 3.6 seconds. And then it'll give you a rating. So it might tell you poor, but you don't want to be in that category. It may say needs improvement or good. So you also have the ability to check out the speeds of your competitors' sites or other sites in your industry too. So you can also have the report emailed to you once you run that speed test, and it gives you more detailed recommendations. Okay. All right. So every second a potential customer spends waiting for your site to load counts. So 2020 study found that improving your site's load time by just 1/10 of a second can boost conversion rates by 8%. And people who make purchases on their phones say they're more likely to buy when they can make the purchase fast. So in this case, time is literally money. So a free Google tool, again, called Test My Site, can give you the information you need about how your site is performing in this capacity. All right. So Test My Site will, again, tell you, is your website fast or not? Okay, every second counts. This tool will rate your site speed as poor, needs improvement, or good, as I was saying before. But speed is not the only factor that can affect a user's experience on your site. And Test My Site also evaluates personalization. So again, it'll tell you how to run experiments to see what content is engaging customers most, how to create tailored experiences for different customers, and then how to launch your mobile site when a customer is offline. And it has other features as well, other recommendations as well. And then the last element to Test My Site is customer experience, how it can help you with customer experience. So beyond how fast your site loads, there are other factors that can slow them down or throw up a roadblock as they're trying to interact with your site. So for instance, if they're trying to make a purchase and they have to fill out a bunch of fields, they may get frustrated and stop. Or they may think, I don't have time to do this right now, I'll come back later. And sometimes we forget to come back later. So the Test My Site tool will scan your site, offer suggestions for how to remove these roadblocks, such as allowing users to sign in with Google and have their information auto-filled at checkout. And then for a full report on your site speed, again, provide your email address so that you can get it from the Test My Site tool, okay? All right, so now we're going to talk about the information within the website. So hopefully you guys have been taking notes and you're ready to make those all-star websites. So a great website has lots of useful, relevant content that helps people find what they're looking for. So even if you don't have a lot of web pages now, Your site will probably grow over time because we're constantly evolving as businesses. And as it does, it's important to keep it well organized. So planning how new content fits into the framework of your website can set it up for success. Oh, that's my dinner alarm. I try to eat dinner at a decent time. Okay, so start with a plan. All right, so we talked about that information architecture, or IA. So I know it sounds technical, but you don't need to be a website designer or programmer or architect to create one. So simply put, it's a plan to organize information on your website. And this really does help, guys, because it helps you map out literally how your website is going to function. So you can map out the sections, the pages, and functionality of your website. And the goal is to help people find information that they're looking for and buy your product or service. So to do this, you need to understand how the pieces of your site fit together to create the pages and sections found on most sites, including the home page, the About Us page, or a contact page. And then depending on your business, you will probably include a products or services section too. So there's no right way to organize a site, but you may find it useful to review the business goals that you wrote down earlier and keep these top of mind as you create your plan, okay? So we're gonna cover a few last tips for organizing your site. So before you map out your main navigation and gather content, consider which pages you will need to include on your website. Make a list and give each page on this list a clear call to action. So for example, the web page shown on this slide invites visitors to shop new releases. So a good call to action describes the action you like visitors to make. So signing up for a new membership, subscribing to an email newsletter, or adding a product to the shopping cart. So another way to think about it is there shouldn't be any dead ends. Visitors shouldn't get to the bottom of a web page and have to make a conscious decision about where to go and what to do next. What visual elements can help site visitors notice important information and cue them to take a further action. So you want to be consistent. So if visuals and text are inconsistent, it can be difficult for visitors to get the hang of using your site. So you want it to flow. And then finally, optimize your website's navigation, that menu. Visitors shouldn't have to think about finding a page. Navigation should be intuitive. And many websites also have the site search feature to help you too. So if they know they want something on your site, make sure that search box is there too. So as your site is growing and you have your base content, you will be thinking about adding additional content. And how do you get more ideas? So Google Trends is how you get more ideas. And this is another one of my favorite tools. I use this a lot for keywords, keyword searches, but this is a free tool that you can use to understand the relative popularity of keywords over time. This is also a cheat sheet for your competitors, because you can see what words are relevant. So this is an unfiltered sample of actual Google searches, but the data is anonymous. No person is identified. It's categorized. Each search has an assigned topic and it's grouped. Okay. So this allows trends to display interest in a particular topic from literally around the globe or down to the city level geography. And then it also allows you to search within hours, days, months, year. Like, I love this tool. So you can use it to research keyword popularity and incorporate important keywords into your website content, because there may be some keywords that you are missing, like I mentioned earlier. So go to g.co/trends. You can test that out now. And literally it's real-time data, and you can select. And I know during the pandemic, I used this for my beauty business because I wanted to see what people were searching. And so when I type in beauty, or when I type in hair, makeup, nails, people were searching DIY stuff. So I'm like, okay, so then we need to be offering our audience DIY tips while they're at home, So I mean, and I'm just like, wow. So, and it changes over time. So now people are looking at, spring trends and new hair colors, all that stuff. So look to see what people are searching within your industry, and it's a beautiful tool. Okay, so first, other ways where you can use this tool, you can compare words and phrases to see which are searched more often. So again, like I was typing in different things to see what was being searched. So Trade Street Jam Company might be curious to see how a search for jam compares to a search for jelly. So it's pretty interesting to see the results shown here. So you can see that this search was conducted in September of 2021. So if you set trends to show data for web searches in the United States, 2004 to present in all categories, it shows that people are searching for the word jam. Great. But if you scroll down to related topics and related queries, the top results appear to be related to games and not food. So if you set the category to food and drink, then it changes things. So again, you can change your categories. It's a beautiful tool. So the graph looks different here, but now you see a regular seasonal spike. So every July and December, if you dig into that, you might be able to get some ideas for adding popular, relevant content, maybe new recipes section focused on summer fruit jam, or maybe they do a spiced cranberry jam. And, so it changes based on the season. So it's always good to constantly run the searches in Google Trends, because it can really tell you a lot about what people are searching. Okay, so then we can add one more layer to the mix. With trends, you can compare search terms too. So if you add the word jelly, you will see its relative search popularity compared to the word jam. And then now you can see that in most parts of the United States, jelly is actually more frequently searched than jam. So according to trends, that flips in the Pacific Northwest and Alaska. Very random. So this information may or not give you ideas for new content, but it definitely suggests that using the word jelly on your website may help Google connect your website with more searchers who want to find the products you sell. And sometimes, if you have products on your website, you can tag them as well. So maybe you may not want to use the word jelly. Well, like for this company, maybe they don't want to use the word jelly. They want their jam company, Trade Street Jam Company. But you can tag a product with jelly, okay? So nobody has to see it, but it's there. Okay, so before engaging with a website, people want to know that it's safe to use. So especially if they'll be sharing confidential information like their credit card numbers. So that's why it's important to take steps to reassure your customers that you take their privacy seriously and have a trustworthy site. So the next time you're online paying a bill or placing an order, take a look at the web address at the top of the page, and you'll likely notice that padlock symbol at the beginning of the URL. So you might also notice that the address begins with HTTPS instead of HTTP. So both those things indicate that you are on a secure website. So how do you provide that security for your site visitors? You need an Ssl certificate. So usually when you build a website, they ask you if you want to purchase an Ssl certificate, and you always want to say yes. So the SSL technology encrypts data so it cannot be stolen by hackers. And many customers who are used to shopping online will know how to look for signs that your site has an SSL certificate before buying anything. So SSL stands for Secure Socket Layer. So you can get an SSL certificate through Google. You'll need to get it through your web, or you may need to get it through your web hosting provider or a certificate authority. But like, for example, I use GoDaddy for a lot of my sites. So I got it through GoDaddy when I set up my website. So let's just back up for a second. When you're on a web page, the browser you're using is constantly communicating with the web server. So that's how you're online. But as information is being transmitted back and forth between the server and the browser, it has the potential to be intercepted by hackers. So an SSL certificate signals to the browser that it should make the connection to the server secure and private. So there's no opportunity for someone else to access the information that's being shared. Okay. So savvy consumers know, again, to look for that padlock or the HTTPS before making a purchase. So make sure you protect your users' security and their information. And then your web host, again, should be able to issue you the SSL certificate and renew it periodically. Okay. All right. So secure payments. So we'll add 3 final tips for building a trustworthy site. Another way to, hold on, did I miss something? I missed something. One last thing. So secure payments, Google Pay, if your website includes an e-commerce component, you'll want to ensure that the payments are secure. So to do that, you'll need to create a merchant account with a payment gateway. And a payment gateway, also known as a payment processor, does exactly what it says. It serves as a liaison between your business and your customers by safeguarding financial information. If you see a website that makes you fill out a form and it doesn't look secure, it probably isn't. So just make sure, you know, how you enter your data and how you're collecting your customers' data is secure. Okay. So rather, again, than entering their payment info directly on your site, they can log into Google Pay with their Google account. You have Amazon Pay, PayPal, same thing, okay? And they don't, they can sign in with their Google account and password and select from any of the payment methods that they've saved there. So their payment information is stored securely, and only the information needed for each transaction is shared, which reduces risk and exposure to fraud. Okay, so wanted to mention that secure payment really quickly. So if you want to use Google Pay, you can go to pay.google.com to set that up, and it's free for both you and customers to set it up, and you can have it up and running on your site in under a week. Okay, so here are the 3 final tips. So another way to build brand trust with consumers is to have good, authentic customer reviews. So consumers are really savvy and won't just take your word for what your products and services are. And if they're 5-star, they want to hear from real people who have done business with you, use your products and services, and want to share their experiences. So encourage your satisfied customers to spread the word online, including on your business profile on Google. And then embedding reviews on your website is also a great way to put that feedback right in front of them, so that other potential customers can see, okay, people are using this product and service, so I might want to be on board too. And then encourage feedback from customers by making your contact information easy to find throughout your website. Include your location, your phone number, and email address. And then respond to good and bad reviews, okay? You don't want to leave those bad reviews hanging either, because people look at that as well. All right. I know we've covered a lot of information today, but let's talk about what you should do next. So if you haven't already, set up Google Analytics so you can start to track and measure your goals. So to take it a step further, try Google Optimize to run content experiments, and then you can use these tools together to see which content is more effective. Next, sign up for Google Search Console and take a look at how your site is performing in Google Search. And then you can also find out how mobile friendly your site's pages are. So once you've run your site through Test My Site tool, then browse the full report for tips on how to make your site more convenient for customers to use. And then you can use Google Trends to get content ideas that can help you create an organized site and get that cheat sheet for those keywords. And then finally, look into using Google Pay to offer a secure payment method that will build trust with your customers. And if you missed, I'm trying to think, if you missed any other parts of this workshop, I'll do this again, maybe in another month or so. All right. So Google also has other tools where you can learn about business and marketing skills. So g.co/primer is one. And then there are also other workshops that you can take to learn digital skills on a wide range of topics on Grow with Google on Air. So that's g.co/grow on air. And Google is not just for business owners. If you have teacher friends, startup friends, job seekers, whoever, let them know that they can learn with Google too. So they can visit google.com/grow. And lastly, if you all can complete this survey, Joylyn's going to drop a link for you to let me know how this workshop was. I know sometimes these workshops are very technical, but you know, it's a lot of helpful information if you and you can take it and implement it immediately in your business. So I'm going to stop sharing and see if anyone has any questions, and so I can see your beautiful faces. Okay. All right, there we go. I can see everybody now. So are there any questions? No questions.
Hi.
Oh, hi, Autumn.
Hi. I don't have any questions. I just want to say that this week, over the last 2 weeks and this week, you have definitely inspired me to get back in and go back and update some things in my website and see all the new things that's going on with Google. Because like I said, Google is my best friend. I love popping up on the first page of my business and things like that. And I'm the type where if it's not broke, I don't need to fix it. But
Right.
I'm also, now that I've been taking other courses like Goldman Sachs and Sure program and these type of things, it got me like, okay, yeah, it's not broke. It doesn't need to be fixed, but we can always update it and keep it scaled up as well. Like you were saying about the number 4, how they just updated some things. And so I'm like, oh, okay, I just want to spend a day and just kind of see what's all the new things and update my website. And I'm thinking this go around, I want to use more of like the template so that I can control the site and not always have to call the tech person that's going to charge you so much because they're coding and all of that behind the scenes. So I'm like, I need something that's a little bit more friendlier for myself and my team, and just go like that. And that Google is way much more friendlier. And like I was saying in the comments, even the Google My Business is more like a social media now.
It
You
is.
can post videos, you can post like things, and people can follow you, and it's like, oh my God, it's so much. So whatever you put over here, you can put in Google and it'll pop up under your profile. So I like that aspect of it too.
Good, yay. Yes, well, I love to hear that. Because, it really is, there really are a lot of free tools out there that people don't know are available to them. So this is why I love teaching these workshops, because even for myself as a business owner, before I became a Google digital coach, I did not know a lot of these tools existed within the Google application platform. So super helpful. Glad you're taking advantage of Google Business Profile, because it's a wonderful tool.
Yes,
And
I have a salon and a natural hair care product line. So I'm really trying to merge the products with the salon on the online. I'm a hair person, not tech.
Yes.
So I'm getting there, and I have to literally study it to understand it.
Right. Yes. It's possible. It's definitely possible. E-commerce. We have an e-commerce workshop too.
Okay, I'll be there.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Catherine. Thanks, Tanya. Yes. So I will have future classes coming up. So let's see. Catherine said, I am in Illinois. Is there a digital coach in the area where I live? Yes, Jinja is the Illinois coach, actually. So if you go to, what is our website? If you search Grow with Google Digital Coaches, it'll show you the page of all the coaches. But yes, there is one. She is based in Chicago. Outside of the workshop, so Google does have one-on-one virtual coaching I don't think, I know at some point they will set it up where we can do virtual one-on-ones with people, but Google also offers that as well, virtual coaching through the Grow with Google platform that you can sign up for. But yes, Ginger is your coach in Illinois. Shout out to Chicago, my hometown. So yes. Okay. Any other questions? I can't wait to see these fabulous websites. Okay, well, if there are no more questions, if you do have questions, you can reach me at joyhutton@google. And then Joylyn, if you can, let me see, put the link to, because they changed my website now that it's no longer Houston, it's Texas now. So I don't remember what the website is. I'll drop it in a second. I'll be posting my March and April workshops within the next week. So you guys can look out for those. Okay, that's the website. All right. So you can register for future classes and look out for workshops that I'll be doing every month. So thank you guys. And Dr. Muhammad.
That's my cue to wrap things up for the evening. Joy, thank you so much for all of the wonderful information that you have contributed over the last few weeks with regard to helping Black businesses grow at Emancipation Park. We are celebrating our 150th anniversary this Juneteenth. And we've been at the center of the community for 150 years. One of our pillars is economic empowerment. So anytime we can bring resources back to the community to help uplift, we are 150% in support of that. I was tasked to get a questionnaire done. So I'm putting a questionnaire in the chat on behalf of Jonathan. If everybody could take a moment to just quickly open up and respond to that questionnaire, we greatly appreciate it. The feedback will help us as we move forward to refine our programming and also offer additional programming in the future. So with that, I want to thank everyone. I want to thank EEDC for their partnership. I want to thank Comcast Universal for their support of this initiative. I want to thank the lovely, beautiful, talented Joy Hutton for leading us over the last couple of weeks and for all of the wonderful information she's provided. You're an exceptional teacher, and we are very grateful to have you. And I also want to thank everyone here for joining us. Thank you so much for being part of these workshops. So with that, if we don't have any additional questions, then we're going to wrap up for the evening, and we look forward to seeing you at our next event. Have a wonderful evening, everyone.
And Autumn, if you can email me, and if anyone else has products and services that they want to I'm raffling off products during my Google workshop. So if you want me to purchase your products or services and raffle them off during Google workshops, please email me. I would love to feature some of your products, Autumn. So please email me, joyhutton@google.com. And then I saw there was like, well, Kathy is in Illinois, but I can still feature them. But yeah, I want to definitely support these small businesses throughout my workshops as well. So I wanted to mention that too.
Perfect, girl. You got some kinky secrets coming your way.
Yes. All right. Well, thank you so much again, Dr. Muhammad. This was a great series. I'm so glad we were able to do this for Black History Month. And I will hope to see you guys again. See you all soon.
All right. Everybody have a good one. Bye-bye.
Right. Thank you. Good night.
Good night.